Okay, Teresa.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was the oldest of, the family, and there was, I was born, and Uncle Donald was born 9 months after, I think, or, no, about a year, 11, I can't remember, 11 months after me. And then after that, Uncle Stanley was born. So I probably was close to 3 years old. Grandma went outside in the backyard to hang clothes, and while she was gone, Stanley was crying. So I got a piece of bread, climbed in the crib, and stuffed his mouth. And Grandma just came in time.
How old was he?
I,
How old?
baby.
Yeah, but how old was Uncle Steve? How
oh,
old
he
was?
probably was 3 months old,
Oh my goodness.
or maybe 2, I don't know.
He was hungry.
I know, but he said he was really crying because we're not quite 3 years apart.
Yeah.
And she shut him up.
Yeah, and I climbed over there, cried at that piece of bread, and I climbed over there, crying,
know.
oh, I got over there, I don't know. And I put it in his mouth. It probably was a small crib they had.
Like a basket.
One more story
No,
though.
not necessarily
Big piece
though,
of bread.
because I know like with Angie, I told her one day at a time, I said, just go in the house quietly. I goes, just peek in the door, and I mean in the room, just to make sure that Sam is still sleeping. I said, but don't go in it. And I said, she goes, okay.
How old is she?
She was 4.
4.
So anyway, she wasn't coming out. So I went in. There she is in the crib. I think that little stinker.
Okay, wait a minute. Tell the story about when you climbed the whatever and it fell, the cupboard.
Oh, yeah.
Tell that story.
Grandma was going down to get some water at the neighbors. We did not have a well.
She was a little stinker.
And Vertimate, no, I was so glad I mentioned that. Vertimate come over, so I climbed onto the cupboard to get a little box of toys for treatments.
Yeah, that's right.
And when I did that, I pulled that whole cupboard down. Vertimate said I was there, and I felt it said, I can't remember nothing else after. I must have broke almost
That is
every
pretty much
dish.
one of those mind erasing moments.
I must have, we didn't have any dishes. But, I mean, I don't know what happened after. I probably got a whipping and wanted to forget about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like how
And
I
I
felt
told
when I
it-
took Teresa across the road in the way.
Yeah. But I mean, this could have killed Vertimate and I both. Because that
Oh,
cabinet
yes.
fell down. And
Oh,
Vertimate's
my
like,
goodness,
and
you
I wish
are-
I would have told her, asked her more.
Yeah.
What did Ma say? Do you remember what happened after that? And I'm so sorry I didn't ask her.
And
that.
how old were you?
Oh, I probably was about 6.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
And then you got in that accident with Grandpa when you were little. He
When
took
I
you to
was-
town.
When I was a year old.
And what happened real quick then?
No, that was when Uncle Donald was born.
Uncle Donald was born.
And Grandma Rubens was taking care of me. And I was a year old. And I stayed there about 10 days. So Grandpa come with Uncle Freddie and went to pick me up. And on the way coming back, he got somehow off the road and hit something. And broke the windshield. And Uncle Freddie's holding me. I went right to the windshield and I got cut clean here, all up here. So he went back to Grandma Rubens. At them they didn't show you up
No, I
for
know.
nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Went back to Grandma Rubens, and boy, did Grandma Rubens ball him out. Because I used to ask Grandma, what happened here? I didn't notice till I was about 10 years old. And I realized that was because it was worse then because it really showed.
It does shrink up.
Yeah, and it goes way around here, way up here.
Yeah.
And I said, geez, maybe that's why I'm acting the way I'm acting.
Well, that's like with Dan when they were trying to make money and they went out in the woods and him and Steve, they were gonna cut trees down and stuff like that. And the axe ricocheted and hit him right square right here in the head.
Danny, Danny
It was
Paul.
Dan.
Dan.
Yeah. And they said that he just, if it would have been just like well, not even, that he would have been blind. And I can I know, it was.
Those pictures
yeah,
are bad too.
I know. Well, he had a clot that they had to remove all of it.
How you doing?
But you
There's
said
the
you
man,
can't
the
make
man
it-
of the hour.
But you say you.
But you can't tell.
You
You can't tell that it was. But you can't.
What did you say? I thought we fell asleep in here.
You turn
You
the
know,
video camera on,
But
everybody's like,
you know, you can't tell that because it's right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it right
Yeah.
in.
dude, tell the story about taking Teresa across the street that you had to get your
Oh
whipping
my
on.
goodness, that was because there was a school bus coming.
Harry Langford.
Harry Lincoln was coming and I was going,
Harry Lancor was driving the school bus.
and I was taking her across in her
Not
wagon.
even looking.
Not even looking, and,
How old were
and
you?
they had to
Probably
put the
about
brakes on,
7
probably,
maybe?
maybe 7, I
Okay,
don't
so
know. I
it's
enough
still
to
young.
remember.
There's a
Enough to
big
remember.
yellow school bus coming
Like,
out.
you know what? Seven's that naive
And it
time.
ran right into the road.
I went right into the road.
Yeah.
And he had to stop.
He had to put on the
Ran
brakes.
out of us.
Yeah.
And I happened to hear that screech. So I-
Because it wasn't Harry that yelled, it's Dad that yelled.
It probably, I
He
remember
was
someone
really
getting
upset.
really
so
yelled
I went,
at us.
I went out there.
Because I don't know, did I
Oh.
leave? I don't know if I
I
left
took
you
her-
there.
Like you saw in school watching you abandoned the
Oh, no.
wagon. Gotta get out of the road.
Grandpa is gonna kick my butt.
No, he was mad, he was in the garage.
Yeah.
See, I don't
Oh,
even
Well,
know
see,
that.
I feel like the moral of the story is
Yeah,
Grandpa was
I
in the
know.
garage and
And I
didn't know
see
where
that,
his
but
children
I-
were. I feel like it's the real moral of the story.
But I don't remember exactly.
He was mad at me.
So I have
No,
a
he
question
was
for
mad at
you.
me.
Did you have like a gate? Because when I was little, you had me on a leash. You had me on a
Well, of
harness.
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well,
Yeah.
you had me sometimes
Why are
in the
we
yard,
surprised?
Just in town?
No, or when I went shopping because you wanted to run away all the time.
Was it, but this is it, Mom.
But I
Was
didn't.
the leash, did they make leashes back then for kids,
Or was it just
like
a bunch of
doll- was it a-
shoelaces?
What was it?
Well, I
What
mean,
kind of, because I can't imagine them
Really
having
double
kid
knotted
leashes
shoes.
at that time.
no, it probably was a dog leash. Just a dog. That's probably why
You
like
like, she
dog.
could have invented.
I know she
You
could
could
have.
have made, you could have made so much money on
Did
that.
anybody else have that you knew of?
Oh, others would use that. Other
Oh,
people use that.
oh, they did.
But when I took to town, we didn't have strollers and all that
I know,
stuff
yeah.
like handy. And I had to take her all the time. So I said, she's gonna run away from me, get killed. So I just,
Well, I did run away a couple times, didn't I?
Oh, that
killed.
escalated quickly.
when you got mixed up,
No other trouble but death right there.
and I
No in
think I
between.
got
No
her-
baby. Just
Okay, wait a second. I want to hear this one.
Yeah,
I
we
took
were
a picture of
shopping
it.
Yeah, I'll
at one of the dinosaurs, Nicers or whatever, and then I walked out, and I always took. I know what. I was at Ward's, and I had a pile of clothes with me, and Ann Carroll was talking to me. She was working there, and when I come out, evidently you must have ran out or something. So I said, Mary, where are you? So I quick ran out with the whole penny down the floor.
Oh, now she's a thief.
I didn't pay for it. So I quick ran back home and I gave it to her. I said, I didn't tell nobody. I just said, you know, can I pay for this? But then when I walked back out, then I see you coming down the road. I mean, by nicer, I said, Valerie.
How old was I?
Well, you
You
probably
must have been quite young because I wasn't born yet.
I said probably
Probably.
Well, where was I then? If you had to take Valerie to school, where was I if she was 7?
probably around 3.
Barely.
3 and a half.
I was left out
Oh,
alone.
second half she was born.
Yeah.
That was before I was born, so she had to
Were
been,
you pregnant with me? With her?
well, she must have been 2.
She would have lost you if she was pregnant with
I
you.
had no idea.
Well, that's young.
That-
I mean, well,
Yeah,
yeah.
It wasn't like I was 10.
Yeah.
I think Dad was home with Jews and I took
Oh,
her.
probably.
Well, then that was your mistake.
Yeah.
You should have taken her and left her home.
Yeah, because I was barely.
Less trouble.
I know.
would take her, you know, because she's.
She was a
I think
handful?
She was older and, no, well,
She was a
no,
handful?
Dad had you two, you were more handfuls. So I left Dad.
Oh,
with
so
her.
he took the,
Yeah, kept
So at
he
that point, I
kept
wasn't
Teresa
on the
and
leash.
I, so she was
Because I was
older.
old enough.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about police, that's a different time.
I know,
Oh,
but I'm
oh, I
saying
see
at
what you
that
mean.
point I wasn't on the leash
no,
because I was older.
You
Yeah.
went to ran out of the store.
7 years old is still
But
on
I
the
got,
leash.
after I paid, I cut them off.
You get old.
And I knew that we were in that store, then I seen you coming out. Or somehow down the road.
So I went into another store all by myself.
Yeah.
Cause you were in Wards and I was in
somewhere,
Risner.
you were somewhere.
Well, they weren't big stores and, little things.
I mean, it's Escanaba. It's not like we're
Yeah.
talking. We're dropping
I
it down
remember
in
when
New
mom
York.
sat you down and thought you had lice and cut your hair.
Oh.
With a
Right,
needle
because
and
I was the
string.
first
She
one.
pierced your ears.
With
I
a
was
needle
the-
and
no,
string,
string.
and she
But
almost
I was the
throwing
first- I
up
was
when
the-
she did it.
I was the first one.
Yeah.
She was
Because-
almost throwing up.
She
No,
didn't wanna
hold
do
it.
Oh.
I was
We
the
begged
first
her.
one, and because Valerie wasn't sure if she wanted to do it or not. And mine, because I had really thin earlobes, they just went right in, no problem. But then you did Valerie's,
Oh, she
and
got
it
the
broke. No,
Right.
the
needle.
the needle did too break.
Well, I don't
Yes.
remember that.
Yes, it
And
broke.
she didn't get it right.
kinda
the
two
first-
against one,
on
right?
one of them.
And then a
Earlobes.
week later, Mary Rose Toronto comes in,
Right,
and
it's
she
hers.
got
And then I got one after that, and it went okay.
no, but a week later or 2 weeks later,
Did I
we
get
had
it?
the strings in our ears.
Yeah, we had
And
little
Mary
strings.
Rose had went down and got, they were just coming in, they had just come in with people who were piercing their
Yeah.
ears.
No, listen, I pierced one of, using Mary Rose.
Not Mary Rose, cause she got them after, cause I remember thinking.
At an
well,
official
she
real
would've just
place.
like- Yeah, an
See,
official
I
place.
did it
From
for
an expert.
Dad would never have went for it.
No, he wouldn't have.
No.
And it worked.
Yeah.
I remember the ice cube and stuff,
Dad
and then we
would not
had
have.
It didn't hurt at all, but I remember Valerie.
sounds
Well, I
And
didn't,
then she got
Yeah,
to cook
we
it.
did.
You
So
need to do
we-
that again
one
with
of
the
them-
arm thingy.
One of them we had
would
to let
have
wait.
to go
Yeah.
back and forth on the string. It was bad.
That's
Somebody-
You don't want it to dry
somebody-
in one spot.
No,
It was weird.
Yeah.
One of
When you
the.
see your sugar, she doesn't twist them. It's
I
the same
I don't remember. I
concept.
had my
But
ears
we
pierced
had,
for like
like-
45 years.
It was, we had like
You had to
that.
twist them at one point.
She
I
got
was
hers.
a baby when I got
Well,
mine.
your mom was
Yeah.
twisting them
whoever
then.
it was.
I was little.
Well, we were in
Yeah.
Spain, so you got yours from
Yeah.
you pierced yours all the time.
That's Mary.
Because that's the
Okay,
babies in
yeah.
Spain.
Oh,
so
do you
it's
mind
pierced. So she got hers pierced by someone who
Yeah,
had their.
And the guy was, it was above,
Like
he
the
was
guy
standing,
she
he was
was-
standing
she
in the
was
doorway.
ordering from a
No,
guy.
She was picking up, I'm picking up, I ordered
And that's what she said to the guy.
yeah, and the guy is looking down at her and she's, and she leans up and she looks and she's like, yeah.
Didn't you
You need to say it.
I don't know
What did
he
he do?
Wait, no,
Well,
she
I
needs to
don't
say it.
know, we were laughing so hard, it's hard to
Yeah.
believe. I think that's what she said, I
No,
ordered,
she did.
she said, she looked at it real and she goes, I ordered a horseshoe set, and so it's like, and Teresa and mom
horseshoe
and
set.
I, and we are just laughing. It was like we could, and I don't even remember even talking to if Grandma even knew what. We must have corrected
Oh,
her.
no, I did.
Well, of course we must have.
But
You
I
must have
think, I
corrected.
think she was just didn't say nothing, she just kinda,
She didn't
Looked
know
at
that.
us
I
and-
think she realized
No.
what.
Well, she must have looking at us and we were just laughing.
Tears
I
streaming down
know.
their
I know, right?
beet red faces.
It just that was.
and in the same parking lot, we met Valerie with Pauline wearing Valerie's clothes.
No, we weren't.
No?
No, we weren't.
Oh, that was it? Okay, that was different.
But do share the
That's
story.
not necessary.
We
Okay,
can
well, I
pretend
was
that it
just-
happened that day. So let's
Yeah.
pretend. What happened
Grandma's
was
was
No.
funny,
Yeah.
Grandma's was funny.
Yeah.
Did Valerie get
Yeah.
mad at Pauline for wearing her clothes?
Valerie
Yeah.
really didn't know Pauline was.
No, I know.
Doing it
Mom
to the
knew.
extent she was doing it until Valerie was out of the house and married, and then
Yeah.
they shared this kind of thing about, cause I spent the summer in Chicago.
Yeah.
And I
She had
saved
nice
all my
clothes.
money, and in those days, you went to the big stores
And you, yeah,
and
we
you
didn't
bought
have
all
much.
this cool
Yeah.
stuff that you could not find here. So I bought I bought a couple dresses and different things, and shirts and things like that, and had her make me skirts to go with it, and a jacket and a skirt and a couple. So I saved my money and got all these
Right.
really fancy clothes from these big, huge, like a Dillard's kind of a thing, but they were.
And we
In
didn't have
those
anything
days, they
here.
were, in those days, that was,
Yeah.
you,
Cream of the
if you got the 17 magazine, then you got, if you could get clothes that those people were wearing, that was just a huge deal, no matter what. So I ended up buying quite a few clothes, but I went to Catholic school,
And we just had.
so I had to
uniforms.
wear a uniform,
Yeah.
so I only wore them when there was something going on. So these two, or this one,
This one.
took advantage of the fact that her sister.
Now, it
Left
happened
early and
Not
probably,
very much.
no, this is it. It probably happened twice.
I think once maybe.
No, twice, I know for sure.
It
But
went
I
from all
remember
the
that
time
jacket.
to 2 times.
That plaid, like a yellow plaid. Was it? I'm trying to
I don't
remember.
remember.
I think she has a picture of that old jacket, actually.
No, I'm not that dumb.
Driving.
And I can
It's no
remember,
evidence, no
I can
evidence.
remember when I said, you better not get caught.
Not as dumb as Sam.
Well, I remember wearing the Holy Name, and the vests we wore were Dad's vest.
What?
I thought we wore Dad's vest.
I wish you would have been
No, we
over.
bought
I wish you would have been
vests.
on that.
We bought them.
Oh,
The
we
what?
bought Guys' vests to
We didn't
wear?
buy-
Yeah. Okay, we bought
Yeah,
guys'
we
vests
didn't
to
buy,
wear. Holy
yeah.
Name.
Sorry,
we didn't
it's
buy
very
that.
hard.
I don't even think Dad had vests.
No.
We
no,
were
no.
sitting like right across from each
I thought
other.
I wore Dad's vest.
No.
Dad wasn't that small.
He was tiny though.
But we
Dad.
weren't as,
No,
we still weren't as
Yeah,
big
He
as.
wasn't always that.
No, Dad was always tiny Dad.
No, not this.
Oh, then he wasn't then, okay.
But not as tiny.
You're
Exactly.
thinking
That
Graham
was
at
mine,
97 years old right now.
Yeah,
That's tiny.
I know. Yeah, well, how much did Dad weigh when he?
When he
That
Passed.
password
was
must be.
probably 100 pounds.
Oh,
Yeah.
if that,
Yeah,
that
I have a hard
that'd be
time
with
believing
all the
you-
clothes and the makeup
Yeah,
and everything
I
else
don't
on.
know, maybe 100.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd
it was,
think like
it was so
95,
weird, because one of the
Yeah,
pictures I
maybe.
think you
Yeah,
put on the
90.
board
90 and
was
change.
them up
Yeah.
on the scaffold up there,
Because
and
I
all I
went
could
down
remember
to,
is him being so, like,
90 pounds. I think,
into
I went down.
Yeah.
scaffolding
90 and
things.
change.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
And
95,
He's up
94.
there, and he literally had two ladders hooked up against
Oh, yeah,
something,
Dad
and a piece of wood in the middle, and there's two guys standing up there.
The
'Cause
memories.
I'm thinking, how did he?
They didn't have the
He got
fear like.
more
No.
safety conscious as time went on, but
I know.
I thought, I mean, that looked
Yeah.
like something
I
you'd
know.
see on YouTube right now.
Or the time that Dad dug that
Oh.
septic tank out,
And thought she
it
was in
stunk,
it. She
and
thought
we
that
thought we
you
lost Heidi.
We were running like crazy
We
around
were
trying to find her.
everywhere.
I've heard this story
Where did you-
about
where
it.
was she?
Horrible.
I was in the
She was
barn.
basically
Yeah.
in the
Barn.
bench row in the back.
Wandered off to the barn.
Yeah,
But you know, yeah.
They had it
You guys
open.
got a wandering problem,
They
it
had-
sounds like.
The whole family had a little bit
They
of
had it
problem with that.
open.
No,
he had it
but
open.
But he was shoveling that
know.
all out himself.
I did not
I
wander.
know.
My mom wandered
Yeah,
away
not
from me one
wheels
time.
were
She got
shoveling
going.
it,
I was
But he was putting the
wheel
wheelbarrow, putting the dirt in the
Traumatized.
wheelbarrow and bringing it all the way to the back, dumping it, and then coming back and getting more. And he kept doing that. Then when he got done all what he was doing, he had to go back and get that dirt and bring it all the way back and throw it in there. Because I don't know if that was, I think I was going out with Dan at the time.
Mind you,
I
when
don't
this
know,
happened, I was
Because,
2.
or one time, or this
Okay.
is a different time he did, he goes, I don't know why your dad is taking it all the way and bringing it all the way over there and then bringing it all the way back. He says, why doesn't he just keep it there and then just throw
might
it
have
in
been another
afterwards? It might have been
project
another,
they had to
well,
redo.
it had to do with this,
Yeah,
the
septic.
septic. But yeah,
He was ready
a workaholic.
to, he was ready to jump
Oh,
in.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
Who was?
I
Yeah.
remember seeing Dad's face, it was like it went
Oh,
white.
I
Yeah.
know.
And I
And
ran
then
in
it
the
just
back,
ran.
and then
Yeah.
I found her.
Found
right
her
in the
just
bushes,
sitting,
like-
just
In the barn.
chilling.
Just
I was
sitting, not
Let's
covered
be
in,
real.
not
And
covered in
plus,
crap.
the thing is
I was
that
like 18 months old.
I
She
know.
was an expert
Again,
swimmer by that time.
I say,
Oh, she
We
was.
were on base.
She
and
would have
the
been
family
dirty.
has a
She
wandering
would have been
problem,
dirty.
but it
for
has
first base.
a
We used to go to the pool,
proper,
and she was 18
like,
months old.
supervision
And she was
So
problem
we go to
as
the
well.
pool, and she would not
Clearly
leave the
that
pool
was
because
that.
she liked jumping off the diving board and swimming.
Because nobody
So
should have thought a
and she was
2-year-old
such
was
a,
drowning
the
in the
guys
septic
liked her
tank.
so much that they would say, okay, we'll take her home when she would, let her stay, let her stay. So we go back home, and she would stay with all these airmen, and at 18 months old, and
Do we not have a problem with this? I have a problem with this.
Yeah, I do too.
At least you were
You're
big.
18 months old with a bunch of airmen? Is that what you just said?
they were friends of ours, of course, but she liked,
but.
they got a kick out of her
Yeah.
walking.
Good of friends.
What if I'm not actually the one who was, you
Yeah,
know?
what if you're not actually your child?
Yeah, what if they replaced me with somebody else and I'm living
Yeah.
somewhere else with some other random airman?
I
So-
know.
Definitely are, no.
Yeah. You're,
I know.
Yeah.
We even have evidence of that. However, there could be. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I was keeping you, I don't know, your mother probably went to
Oh,
town or
you
whatever.
Okay.
You're
And
like,
she would stand at the corner and the door was over, she said, Paul, Tita. She would,
We were in Colorado. You watched her
Yeah,
when
we're-
we were
oh,
in
yeah,
Colorado.
that's right.
Yeah. We went for a
Oh,
couple,
yeah,
just,
you
yeah.
all went to Colorado.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you take her with
This was when we went to Colorado. So when she was 3 months old, we wanted to go camping with her.
Oh, yeah,
we
And
did
this
what,
one
the
thought we
cat
were gonna kill her.
Oh, no, but listen, she was walking then.
No, not
No.
yet.
When she
Oh,
called
no, when
in.
she, yeah, that was a
Yeah.
different Colorado. But when we took her the first
like 3
time to
months older than I
Colorado,
was
she was
working.
3 months old.
Yeah.
And
Walking?
you were like,
No, this is
you
a
are
different
going
time.
to
That's
take
why I said
Colleen
that
and
3 months
Teresa to
later,
help
not
you out. You are not going
And
anywhere
we're
with that
more
baby.
of a
and-
pain than you
Oh,
left
what
without
did you
us.
do? You left the dog here. And you went. I had.
Oh, you had Lancer that time? Well, that was worked out good for me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I said, oh, good. I said, I keep the dog and they took her.
so we took these two.
I can still remember
I
going
think the
to, I
dog
think
still
it was
would've been a
Nebraska.
idea.
Oh,
I
yeah, the
was in
tornado.
Nebraska. And
Oh,
no, this is it. They're saying, no, you probably shouldn't set up your tent
Yeah.
because of the wind factor, because
We got
it's
a
so.
storm coming.
There's
Yeah.
storm coming in. You know. So anyway, so we set up the tent.
flat rock
We
girls
set,
calling
we,
the
set up,
shots.
we set up the tent, and all I can remember are ponchos blowing in the wind like this. You know, as we're trying to set, and it leaked.
Oh,
From
no,
the
the
time-
tent came down.
No, we
I
have to
know,
remember,
but
we had to
after
go
the
on the
fact.
van.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but after the fact.
And we had to dig her out
I
because
know.
Yeah.
when we got the
Once
tent out,
again,
we
You wonder.
we're tired.
But
got the tent out.
the thing is that when it rained
Oh,
later
yeah, it was
on,
awful.
it was.
The fact that I'm
it
still
leaked.
alive should say
remember
something
we
for
had
my
the dinner like
resilience.
this?
Can't
Oh,
find
yes.
you.
I
It's
had,
airmen.
Sardines,
Sardines, yes,
mustard,
yes.
sardine,
No, I
mustard,
think
and
I
crackers
know,
for dinner
yeah,
that night.
yeah, I remember that.
It was in Ogallala, Nebraska.
But I was so excited to go camping
Oh, me too.
that it didn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I was so excited.
We
We were
got
actually
new,
camping.
we got
You
new
have to
sleeping
be
bags.
that age.
You
Yes,
now
we
can
did.
use
I
that.
didn't remember
We
that.
only
But
had
Mom,
sleeping bags
we're
and
going
everything
camping.
until that time.
You don't
Probably
have,
didn't.
you have to be that naive and that
Yeah.
stupid to
Yeah, I
enjoy
know, I
yourself.
got
Yeah, we were actually in, I was so happy.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
know.
oh, we're camping. And it's
Oh,
soaking
yeah.
wet, but, and I don't think we had many clothes to
She
change
was,
into.
No.
they were
No,
exempt.
we had a little, we
So-
had just a,
We
Yeah.
took our wedding money and we bought tents and sleeping bags and scuba diving
Well, we
materials.
did.
And she was like, "Why don't you buy?" I shouldn't have been the first one because she should have
I
at
was
least
gonna
known there
say, I
would be
did that
something
one,
normal
yeah.
coming out of her household before it was. But she was like, "Don't you think you need like a vacuum cleaner? There's enough money for a vacuum cleaner. You could use a vacuum cleaner. What are you doing with scuba diving equipment?"
She must have gave up on me when we ended up using our wedding money, and Larry, I don't think they even had he had a seasonal work job. We wanted to go to Maine. So we lived in Marquette for that short time. We went to buy these expensive sleeping bags and a tent and spend the money, all our money to go up to Maine, which I slept half the way anyway. And all I wanted was an ironing board and iron, and he didn't understand why I wanted that.
Oh,
And that was one of our fights. But I need an iron board. What do you need an
well,
ironing
see, I
board
could have
for?
cared less about it.
Yeah, and I wanted an ironing board because Mom brought us ironing. So yeah, so I lost my. So we ended up going to Maine, spending all our
Yeah.
money
Well,
on that.
that's also, I said $100. I had $100 in my pocket. Dad had spent it on a car.
Oh,
I mean,
$100 on a car?
No, his money went on a car,
Yeah.
Oh, he spent his money.
a new car.
A new car.
So he didn't really have.
So
any
he
money.
did buy a new car. I
Yeah, that
wondered- I
was
thought he
another
bought a
thought.
new
It was a
car.
Because it was real, the car he had when we gave it leaked.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
it
so when we
happened.
got married,
Sounds
before we
like our
got
kid.
married, he figured, well, I'll get a nice car. You know, they
Yeah.
were cheap then. And, well, yeah, and then these almost could buy it for nothing. So I had $100 I had saved after paying for all my wedding stuff. We left at $100 and we went up for Canada, to Canada, and we were sleeping in the back. I was sleeping in the back and in the front, and Dad was sleeping in the front. I was sleeping in the back. And
I
then
didn't
we
hear
got,
this
we were
story.
so tired. We stopped somewhere on a road in Canada, and the police come along.
I
And
didn't
they
know
said,
this story.
yeah, I don't know what they told us, and we said, well, we're just taking a rest because we're tired. We told them we were going to this one place, so
Yeah.
they didn't say nothing. My dad talked French. We
Oh.
were all in French.
Oh, so you weren't in America?
And you were in
Canada.
Canada.
Oh, in Canada,
We're in
okay, I missed that part.
Canada's not
I missed
America.
that part.
Yeah,
I
we
missed
went
that.
to Quebec where Grandma
Oh, okay.
Roger was,
Okay.
the house she was born in.
Oh, that's cool.
And then we went way up to St. Andy Popery.
Was that Charbonneau Lane?
I don't
We
know.
saw Sherburne and Lane when
Yeah,
we
no,
were back.
no.
Okay, but go on,
Uh, so anyway, by the time, and all we ate was ice cream.
Of
Ma.
course.
Well,
And then once in a while, we had probably ate and went to a restaurant and had some eggs because there's no money there.
Of course it had to be eggs and ice cream.
I oh my
Used to
goodness.
make them a dozen eggs for
Yeah.
breakfast
We
every
didn't
morning.
eat till we got back after, what, 10 days or whatever.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and then when I come
And I
back.
wonder how come we have sugar addictions.
I
I
know.
know, I
And
know.
Dad like ice cream, I like ice cream, we ate ice cream, we dated, it was ice cream, ice cream, ice cream.
Yeah.
So
That should have
anyway,
told you something. There was a warning there, Mother.
yeah, but I like ice cream because we never had it.
Yeah.
So anyway, we come home and we stayed with Grandma Toronto.
Was this house being built then? When you got married?
No,
No, no, no.
after we got back, it was, I think started, the frame was up.
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so we stayed with Grandpa and Grandma for about maybe a month upstairs.
You did.
in
No,
our
remember
garage.
he carried her over the
I
threshold.
did. I got
Yeah.
that picture. Yeah. Or
And,
it's not finished.
No.
no, it wasn't finished.
Right, right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't finished when we were
No.
kids either, though.
Yeah, but I mean,
No.
it was a frame was up there.
Yeah, and when we come home, we had a wood stove burning here, no insulation. The water would freeze because he brought the water from Grandpa Taranja's well.
My dad
Brought
was
her over
picking
here,
stuff.
dumped it in some kind of a tank we had.
Sounds like an old show.
I'll tell you, I mean, and we get up in the morning to have a drink, it was full of ice.
Wow.
You know what I
And all he
always
wanted for breakfast, the first breakfast I made him,
was
made him a
eggs.
dozen eggs.
I was gonna say eggs.
A dozen eggs?
Almost, well, a half a dozen for sure. And I said, oh my gosh, do I have to do that every morning? I couldn't believe it. I was 6 eggs.
So against
Yeah.
your nose.
But you know, one thing I really, I kind of miss, but it's always a good memory. It was when the milkman came and left milk on the.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that.
That was one of Arlene's memories.
And I did remember
Or Tiny's
that.
memory. She
Tiny,
said,
I remember.
every once in a while, you get the milkman
So
would come and we
unfortunate.
would notice that you would get, now, I don't know if this is true because I
Yeah,
don't.
because
it
I
doesn't-
always it doesn't ring for with
Occasionally you
her.
would get a chocolate milk.
Yeah, I don't
And
remember
we
that.
didn't, and I don't remember chocolate
We
milk.
never
We
got
chocolate
might have gotten,
No,
we might have
no.
gotten orange juice or something that was different than the milk.
Yeah.
We might have gotten, because if I remember, we got other things besides just the milk sometimes.
Well, when did they quit the milk delivery here?
I mean, I just thought that was so awesome because it had the little metal.
Well, yeah,
and
but
you had
at
your
Yeah,
first,
little.
oh, yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just so.
at first we got milk from Roger Farm.
I would love for somebody to
When did
deliver
they
out
start
to my
to
house.
start
I wouldn't
milk?
drink it, but
I know,
I'd like to
that would be
taste
cool. I mean, I can't
The
drink
idea
Oh,
of
wow.
But it
You
would
know,
be
there's
cool
some
to
of the
sit out
things
there.
that we don't do in this day and age. Everything is so cold and so.
I know, it's great.
It wasn't,
It wasn't pasteurized.
pasteurized at all.
Yeah, I know.
That
It's
was-
really, that's what made Dad so healthy.
Which is,
Came back from our honeymoon. I had a fever, a high fever.
Oh
I
yeah.
went to the hospital and they said, they brought me to the hospital. And they said, well, give her some hot drink with whiskey, brandy.
Really?
Yeah,
At
so,
the hospital?
That's what I'm talking
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they gave me.
They gave you whiskey at the hospital.
No. They told you her to take
Oh, to
whiskey.
take whiskey.
You
You got it out of the fixes.
that's just a small, I mean.
No, they
Yeah.
didn't make me a hot drink with it. told
Did
me
they
that-
give it? They didn't give it to you.
No.
No, you had to make it
They
at home.
told you what to
We
do.
went to Grandpa Toronto's for the first month.
Oh yeah.
Put down- put
So
the
you
house
lived up there under
Yeah,
Capuchins.
upstairs, yeah, it was a
Okay.
good, I'd say a good month and a half.
I can remember. Okay.
And, so they gave me the hot drink of that and, I get better, you know, but I was really the high fever.
Oh wow.
Well, yeah, because
I
all you
can-
was ice cream.
I can remember going
And
up
it
to upstairs and thinking that was the biggest
coolest
upstairs that I ever saw. And then when I saw it again, I'm thinking, how in the heck did I think
I
this
know.
was big? And I can still remember that time when I was over to Aunt Betty Lou's and I had a hot dog and she had the ones that had the skins on them and I didn't like that taste and I didn't know what to do with
I
it.
know not
So
about
I
she speaks.
hid the hot dog
Oh my god.
in the drawer. And I closed it. And then about a month later, Aunt Betty Lou comes over and she goes, you know, she said, I don't know why. She said, I found a hot dog in a drawer. And I'm sitting there like, I didn't even want to tell her. So then I go, who the heck did ever put that in there? I didn't say nothing. I just was there because I put it in there. I didn't like the taste. Because you could, if you didn't like something, you couldn't tell people. You couldn't tell people I don't like this. You had to figure out. Either you stuck it in your cheeks and you went into the bathroom and spit it out in the toilet, or you hid it in, you know.
Well, I remember the time that we had to sit down at their table.
you ever tell
Mary Rose had a favorite duck. And we had to sit at the table, and the duck was dead on
I
the table.
know.
Mary was sobbing,
I know.
and we were looking, thinking, we can't eat that duck. I can always remember it. We were devastated. It was cooked.
It was cold, yeah, it was
Killed it.
alive.
And she had
I thought it was just like dead, fully feathered. Sitting on the table for a second.
Might as well have been for Mary Rose.
for us.
It was cooked for
And
dinner.
then when you think of some of the things when you went in that barn and you were
Oh
climbing
yeah, we were
those
swinging.
and climbing on those rafters and going from one
Like a Tarzan.
well no, but actually they had like a
From one raft to the other. That
well
was
no,
great.
but there was like a but there was also a
In between, you could fall down.
well you had like it's not an attic but
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they would have it, but then on the other side there was, and then they would climb those rafters
Yeah.
to get to the other end.
We used to do the rope swing.
I know we did, yeah.
But I was up here once, we were playing hide and go seek. And,
Yeah, the barn.
yeah, and you know, didn't know, you didn't tell us that there was any danger of being in a farm of any
I know,
sort.
but I was brought up that way. We
So
can't-
I jumped into the grain bin, and there was a fox in there.
Oh my goodness.
It was like I go down, I was like, yeet!
Yeah.
And I got out. I don't know
That
how I
fox
got out. I think there was a
fox
ladder in
in
there.
our yard, you know, that fox tried to crowd.
Yeah, I know, right? But the thing was, is that, you know, you can, if you jump into a grain bin, you can.
You could die
Yeah.
of the whatever it's called.
But
Yeah.
that's what we
can't.
did at Grandpa.
It's happened.
We used to go to him and
can't
fly down.
I know.
Oh, he had fun. It was
Sucked
just
you
like
right
a
in, like-
slide.
Oh, yeah.
Quicksand.
I mean, it was a great way to live, a great way to grow.
Well,
up,
yeah, because
that
you
we're all
survived
alive.
it.
But by
No,
the
it's
time,
you survived
It's not that we're all alive, it was a.
by the time I
there
got
were
to
no
do
rules.
that
Yeah,
stuff, because you had broken your foot falling out of the tree,
I had fun
we
that
were
fall.
told not to do some of those things.
Yeah.
Because of, I think you.
No,
You're
but
not
Yeah, but I
every-
remember going up in our little
You're
tree, we had a little boards that we would go up.
Oh, yeah, but
You
after
know.
you broke your foot. I don't think
Yeah, we weren't allowed in that one tree.
That was, I mean, a great,
Yeah.
Jimmy
just.
was here, remember, Auntie Mary was here, Uncle Jack was here, Jimmy was here, they were here, and I was giving Grandma a permanent. And
Why
all
were
of
you
a
doing
sudden-
that? She had curly hair.
Oh, that's why she had curly
Whatever,
hair.
he had- and they-
Oh,
No, grandma.
You could
thought
have
she was
one and-
grandma.
I thought you said grandpa too.
I'm like,
Grandma Roberts.
Dad was like, it's not broken, it's just.
Oh, I remember. I
Now,
remember
in the
that.
morning- Wait, in the morning, we went to the doctor.
No, the morning was the 4th of July.
Oh, that's right.
We went to Auntie Carol.
No, we were the pioneers. We had a
No,
picnic.
we were in Auntie Carol Knuckle Down. Because I remember taking me to DeLynn and
And I
coming
just
back and
remember
everybody
this
was,
one.
it was where's
One.
they were living on the lake then.
I knew she
Those
was
chairs
walking
we
on
grew
it
up
for a
in.
while.
Never went.
The
Not for
other
that
room.
long, but you
Yeah,
were.
it was a couple, it was like 2 days.
and now
Yeah,
we're allowed
it
to
might
say
have
It
been
people
was
too
like
much
in
for
July
kids.
and we were at,
Too much
we
hits
had
for
a big
these
family
chairs.
thing in Auntie Carol. Remember, we
Little
might
pigs
have
right
thought that
here.
because they lived on the
We
lake.
did not have it.
And I remember
Like,
us
how is that a
driving
good
up.
design?
And everybody coming out of their house and saying, "Oh, Valerie's got a cast," because that's Uncle Donald or somebody told Dad, "You need to take her in. I think it's broken."
Yeah.
And so they had to call Dr. DeLynn on the 4th of July to come in and take care of my foot. And so I walked in and everybody's like, "Oh, Valerie's got a cast." I just broke into tears. I was like,
Because
"This is not fun, people."
I don't want it.
No. But boy, when I got that walking cast,
You were doing
man,
anything.
You were
I-
running.
Oh, there was no, I used to climb to the top of our, I climb everything. I mean, I
Oh,
did.
yeah, I mean,
As soon as I was mobile in
she was
that
like
age.
a monkey, she was like a monkey, she was climbing all over.